There's a place, a school, an institution where a professor resides. One that for the past 30 years has traveled the world teaching others. A pioneer in America of the fighting science of Savate. One who codified the sports of this fighting style. One who has produced clubs, champions, and continues to develop. Listen to work.
Hey guys, we have another Monday in front of us. I hope everybody had a great 4th of July, and I want you to understand that I wish you all well. Last year, 2020, was a year that everything was shut down because of the pandemic. But this year, what I saw was an embrace of our 4th. People were happy, families were together, people were out there buying fireworks, watching the fireworks shows. We're starting to see our America come back again. And that to me was enchanting. There's so much that, I really want to touch base about. And some of them are different questions that people ask and about all sorts of things within the martial arts. And some of them are about training, some of them are about fighting, some of them are about doing savate or boxe française or being in the ring, history of savate as well. But this question that was told to me is very important, and that is, when will I know that I am ready for a confrontation? Listen, that's a deep question. That's a deep question because a lot of people, you don't want them to ever, me as an instructor, I don't want you to ever get into a physical confrontation in the street. It's not that what I teach doesn't work. I don't wish that upon anybody, okay? You have to understand that when that happens, your mind gets flooded with a lot of bad memories, bad negativity. You might get hurt. There's a lot of stuff wrong with this romance that people think it's okay because Hollywood puts people that do martial arts as if they're great heroes and whatnot, and they can fight 5, 10, 15, 20 people at a time and continue going. That's Hollywood. In the street, it's very violent. I don't want you to fight with anybody. I don't want something to happen to you. That's the reason why I teach, because I saw people get hurt. I grew up in a violent town. Laredo is a violent town. Just in the last week, we've seen in the newspaper great articles about people fighting, pulling out guns and beating up everybody and so on and so forth. So when people say, when will I be ready for a confrontation? Well, let's kind of step back. I'm going to step back into a couple of things. Do I have a student? Do I have a client? Let me separate those. A martial arts school is a commercial school. And when members that come inside, that join, are divided into two spectrums. One's a client and one's a student. And then you have disciple, right? What will be the difference? Well, a client is one that pays month by month, really doesn't really care whether if he makes it one day or comes every day. They just want to do something to let their emotions go up forward, okay? When you start talking about conditioning your hands to fight, doing a little bit extra more time for you to spend inside the gym or at home training, they're not going to do that, okay? But they're always asking that question, when will I be ready? When will I be able to do this and take it as a self-defense situation and be able to control an attacker? Well, let me do this. You have to look at the demeanor of the person, how the person is. Does he have the physical ability? Is he able to come back from a sparring engagement in school while he's conditioning? Do they have that? You as a professor, you as an instructor, you as a sensei, sifu, what have you, whatever title you want to place, you have to understand, is your students capable of using what you're teaching them in the street? Don't be fooled. Many people think that whatever they teach is the ultimate. Listen, street fight is a violent situation. Many people might get knives pulled out of them. Let me tell you another thing. 90% of the people that get into a physical confrontation, whether it's sexual, rape, busted mouth, punch in the face, push and all that, is from somebody that they know. So, and 90% of all martial art instructors teach people to fight somebody that is prepared in a martial art. Well, how are you going to teach that person how to combat somebody that's their boyfriend, their husband, their brother-in-law, their father-in-law, their cousin, their neighbor, somebody that you always have interactions with? And they try to force you down, especially women, try to beat them up or strong handle them, or a child, try to molest them, which they have to learn how to fight and do all that stuff with. How do you get that in there? So you have to teach that mental capacity, that range. And that's something that takes a very long time to instill into a person. It takes a long time to teach somebody how to hit somebody in the face in an aggressive situation. But when you're talking about actual having to combat or defend yourself against somebody that you know personally, it's a different story. It's a different story. So you have to be able to teach techniques in a repetitive nature with people that you enjoy to be with. And if you're a student or you're a client, okay, you're a member client that only comes once or twice or maybe 3 times a month, it's going to take longer for you to get that. But if you're more of those that's in tune, that you're always practicing, you're always training, you're always conditioning yourself for that, you're going to be able to defend yourself a little bit more. Okay, that's why when people say, what martial arts would you trust in defending themselves against that? And those that you're kind of closest to. If you build a good group of martial artists, a good crew of martial artists, you have a good team of martial artists that are rolling around in the ground with your best friend, your peer that's there, and you're wrenching them over, or you have gloves on and you're popping each other in the face. That, and you get hit back and you smile and you hit back forward, you're building that type of bond. Those people that continually do that are the ones that I say, in my opinion, when that 90% of that person that you know comes and attacks you, tries to rough you up, tries to assault you, you're going to be able to defend yourself. But you also have to understand, you have to prepare mentally, because that's basically what's going to happen in the street. Most people that get assaulted in those formats, is by 90% of them know the person that's doing it. It's very rare that it happens and that you're walking into a convenience store And in the convenience store, you bump into somebody. That happens, and it turns over, and you get into an entanglement, or you're in a bar. You can find it. You'll find those as well. Understand? But the vast majority of members that come into a school are going to be attacked by somebody that they know, and that's us as instructors. That's the reality check. Understand? And it's very, very hard to do that, to teach that. I get it by women. You know, a lot of women come in and they say they want to learn how to fight. They want to learn how to defend themselves, but they don't want to tell their husbands or their boyfriends that they're training. And once you hear that from that client that's joining, you know that there's a red flag, because we've had many that come in here for that. Okay, so once more, train in a martial art. I don't care whether it's Savate, karate, kempo, capoeira, boxing. If you're going to train, BJJ, I don't care what you train in. Start training, start motivating yourself, start setting goals to learn. Pick a good school. If you need help, give us a call. Drop me an email, buitronacademy2012@gmail.com. Drop me an email and say, you know what, I'm over here in Houston, Texas. I guarantee you that we'll find somebody who'll be well recommended for you to join there. Okay? Not just join any particular martial arts school just because of it. You have to study them, study the instructors as well. But I want to wish you all well. We're in July. You know, this past weekend was 4th of July weekend. I'm glad that to see Americans start waving the flag proudly again. Let's move forward. Much peace. And remember, any other questions, drop a line. Till next time.
Best-kept secret of Laredo. Buitron Academy, 956-401-4868. Savate.biz.